Everyone knows the cheetah as the fastest land animal alive. It's the icon of pure speed, the sprinting superhero of the animal kingdom. With its sleek, aerodynamic build and a stride that seems to stretch across time itself, the cheetah looks like it was born for one purpose: to outrun anything that moves. But what if we told you that its most important asset isn't its speed? That beyond the spectacle of motion, there's something else, quieter, subtler, but absolutely essential. Because the cheetah's true secret weapon is balance, and it's hidden in plain sight. Follow Feline Femme for more interesting feline stories. Stretching behind that blur of motion is a long, muscular tail, spotted like the rest of its body, swaying with incredible precision. It doesn't just trail behind the cheetah like an afterthought. It's not decorative. It's not passive. It's the cheetah's most vital steering tool, its rudder in the chaos of the chase. In fact, without that tail, the cheetah's speed would be almost useless. Let's go back to the African savanna. The sun is low, the grass is golden, and there, barely visible in the tall blades, waits a cheetah, eyes locked on a herd of Thompson's gazelles. Then it explodes into action. This isn't just running. This is a launch, a burst of power that sends dust flying in its wake. But here's the twist. Gazelles don't run in straight lines. They leap, zigzag, change direction in a heartbeat. And if the cheetah couldn't do the same, all that speed would count for nothing. That's where the tail comes in. As the cheetah veers left, its tail swings right. As it twists mid-sprint, the tail counters that rotation, keeping its body aligned and upright. It's acting like a built-in gyroscope, adjusting the cheetah's trajectory in real time. And this is happening in fractions of a second. At speeds topping 60 miles per hour, the margin for error is razor thin. One misstep, one overcorrection, and the hunt is over. So while the legs provide the thrust, the tail provides control. It's the reason the cheetah can make sharp, high-speed turns without wiping out. This level of balance is something few animals on Earth can achieve. In fact, scientists studying high-speed footage of cheetah hunts have found the tail is constantly active, adjusting to the animal's every move. It's a dynamic tool, not just swinging back and forth, but rotating and even twisting to control aerial posture when the cheetah leaps or shifts in midair. Think about that. A tail acting like a pilot's joystick. When the cheetah lunges, the tail ensures its hindquarters don't overtake the front. When it launches into a curve, the tail keeps it from skidding out like a race car with no traction. Every flick is calculated. Every movement is deliberate. But the tail isn't just for hunting. Cheetah cubs, with their fluffy, oversized tails, use them as training tools. As they tumble and climb through their early months of life, that tail helps them develop balance, confidence, and control. It's like a gymnast's balance beam, essential for learning how to move with power and precision. And even adult cheetahs use their tails in more than just the hunt. Mothers raise their tails as visual beacons, guiding their cubs through tall grass. In a landscape where visibility can mean survival, that raised tail becomes a flag, a call to follow. The cheetah's tail also plays a role in social communication. Subtle movements signal intention, alertness, even stress. In a species that doesn't roar like lions or growl like leopards, body language, especially tail language, is everything. But let's not stop there. The cheetah's entire anatomy has evolved around its high-performance lifestyle. Its spine acts like a giant spring, flexing and contracting with each stride, allowing its legs to extend farther than those of any other cat. Its lungs, heart, and nostrils are oversized to flood oxygen to the muscles during those brief, electrifying chases. Its claws don't retract fully like other cats. They function more like track spikes, digging into the ground for traction. And its inner ears are wired for stability, helping it maintain spatial awareness even at full tilt. But again, none of this matters without balance. Because raw speed without control is chaos. And in the wild, chaos means failure. Hunts are not just races, they're calculated risks. A failed sprint means wasted energy, missed meals, and increasing danger. Cheetahs can only afford a few full-speed pursuits per day. Overheat too often and they collapse. Miss too many times and they starve. So they need to succeed, and they need to succeed fast. That's why every element of the chase has been fine-tuned by evolution. And the tail? It's the conductor of that orchestra. Invisible to most viewers, but orchestrating every note. Even modern robotics engineers are fascinated by the cheetah's tail. Bio-inspired designs have studied its movement to develop agile, terrain-adaptive machines. If a robot can't balance while pivoting, it falls. Nature figured this out eons ago, and the cheetah is its prototype. And still, the cheetah's life hangs in the balance literally and figuratively. Today, cheetah populations are declining. Their historical range once stretched across much of Africa and parts of Asia. Now they occupy a fraction of that space. Habitat loss, human conflict, and climate change have squeezed them into smaller territories, often forcing them closer to livestock and people. And unlike other big cats, cheetahs can't adapt as easily to enclosed, fragmented environments. Why? Because their hunting strategy depends on space. They need open land to build speed. They need distance to close in on prey. They need terrain they can maneuver across at full throttle. Without that room to run, the cheetah's advantage disappears. Its speed, its agility, even its precious tail become powerless. So conservationists are racing against time. Protecting cheetah corridors, preserving savannas, and reducing poaching are all crucial. Because we're not just saving a fast cat. We're preserving a marvel of evolution. A species that doesn't just run. It glides, it weaves, it dances. The cheetah isn't the biggest predator. It isn't the loudest. But it may be the most graceful. And at the center of that grace is a tail unassuming, quiet, but absolutely essential. So, next time you see a cheetah, whether in a nature documentary or on a dusty plain, take your eyes off the legs for a moment. Watch how the tail moves. Watch how it slices the air like a blade. How it anticipates each turn. How it stabilizes each leap. Because that is the cheetah's real superpower. Speed may be what we notice, but balance is what lets it fly. And in that perfect harmony between motion and control, we find one of nature's greatest wonders. Not just the fastest animal on land, but the most elegantly engineered.